Have you ever looked at a cloud and suddenly seen a face staring back at you? Perhaps the front of a car appeared angry, a wall socket looked surprised, or the windows of an old house seemed like two enormous eyes. You know that these objects are not alive, yet your brain can transform a few random shapes into a familiar human expression within seconds. This curious phenomenon is called pareidolia. It describes the tendency of the brain to recognize familiar images in unclear or random patterns. We may see animals in rock formations, figures in shadows, or faces in clouds. Faces are especially common because the human brain is highly sensitive to anything that resembles eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Faces are among the most important things we learn to recognize. From the earliest moments of life, babies pay close attention to the faces of parents and caregivers. A face can provide information about safety, emotions, and intentions. A smile may signal comfort, while an angry or frightened expression may warn that something is wrong. Humans are deeply social beings. Throughout our history, recognizing another person quickly could make an important difference. A face hidden behind trees or tall grass might belong to a friend, a stranger, or a possible threat. The faster the brain detected it, the more time a person had to react. Because of this, the human brain developed an extremely efficient system for recognizing faces. It does not need to see every detail clearly. Two dark shapes positioned beside each other may become eyes. A line or opening underneath them may suddenly look like a mouth. This is why a simple smiley face is instantly recognizable. Two dots and a curved line are enough for the brain to create a human expression. However, this speed has one unusual disadvantage. The brain sometimes detects a face even when no real face is present. It does not always wait for complete visual information. Instead, it compares the shapes in front of us with familiar patterns stored in memory. Imagine looking at the front of a car. The headlights may resemble eyes, while the radiator grille looks like a mouth. Rounded headlights can make a vehicle appear friendly. Narrow lights and sharp lines may create an aggressive or focused expression. The car does not have emotions. The expression exists only because the brain interprets its design in the same way it interprets a real face. Designers often use this effect intentionally. Cars, household robots, cameras, and kitchen appliances are sometimes created with subtle face-like features. A product that appears friendly may feel safer and more appealing. A sports car may be designed to look powerful, angry, or intimidating. Pareidolia may also be connected to an ancient survival strategy. For our ancestors, mistaking a harmless shadow for a face was usually not dangerous. They might have felt frightened for a moment before realizing that nothing was there. But failing to notice a real person or predator could have had serious consequences. The brain therefore tends to produce occasional false alarms. It is often safer to detect something that is not there than to overlook something important. Seeing a face in a tree trunk, a stone wall, or a dark window may be a harmless result of this cautious system. Clouds are perfect for pareidolia because they are constantly changing. Wind, sunlight, and shadows create endless combinations of shapes. For a few moments, a cloud may resemble a smiling face, a sleeping animal, or a giant figure floating above the horizon. Seconds later, the image disappears. The face does not truly exist inside the cloud. It is created by the brain as it organizes unclear visual information. Human perception is not a perfect recording of reality. The brain constantly interprets what the eyes see and fills in missing details. Every second, it makes predictions about the world around us. It chooses the explanation that seems most likely based on previous experience. This ability is extremely useful. It allows us to recognize a familiar person in fog or identify an object that is partly hidden. Without this system, we would need to examine every color, shadow, and edge individually. Everyday life would become slow and confusing. Most of the time, the brain's predictions are correct. We immediately recognize a tree, a chair, an animal, or another person. Pareidolia gives us a glimpse into moments when this system makes a harmless mistake. random shapes suddenly become something meaningful. Even after we realize that the face belongs to a wall socket or a building, it can remain difficult to stop seeing it. The arrangement continues to activate our face recognition system. Our emotional state can also influence what we see. When someone feels nervous, a shadow or a coat hanging from a door may briefly resemble a person. In bright daylight, the same object may look completely harmless. The object has not changed, but the brain's expectations have. When we feel relaxed or playful, we may notice funny faces in food, coffee foam or kitchen utensils. These faces often appear friendly or surprised. When we feel anxious, unclear shapes may seem more threatening. The emotion comes from the observer, not from the object. Personal experience also plays an important role. Two people can look at the same cloud and see completely different images. One person may see an old man's face. Another may recognize a dog, while someone else sees nothing more than an ordinary cloud. The brain searches through memories and familiar shapes to find the closest possible match. This makes every person's perception slightly different. Pareidolia is not limited to things we see. A similar effect can also occur with sound. People sometimes believe they hear words inside radio static, whispers in the wind or voices within the sound of running water. The brain tries to organize unclear sounds into familiar speech. It uses the same basic strategy that transforms random shapes into recognizable faces. Once someone suggests what a sound or image is supposed to represent, it often becomes easier to notice. Expectations influence perception. After being told that a cloud resembles a face, we may suddenly see the eyes, nose and mouth clearly. Before the suggestion, we may not have noticed them at all. Seeing faces in everyday objects is completely normal. It does not mean that someone is unable to distinguish imagination from reality. Most people immediately understand that the smiling house, angry car or surprised toaster is only a random arrangement of shapes. The illusion still feels convincing because faces automatically attract human attention. Our brains treat every possible face as important information. In a complicated image filled with many objects, a tiny face-like pattern may be noticed almost immediately. It can be difficult to ignore once it has been recognized. Lighting and perspective can strengthen or destroy the illusion. A rock may resemble a human face from one direction but look ordinary from another. Shadows may create clear eyes and a mouth in the morning. When the sun moves, the face may disappear completely. The face exists only through the combination of shape, light, perspective and the observer's brain. Change one of these elements, and the illusion can vanish. Pareidolia reveals something important about human perception. We do not simply observe the world exactly as it is. Our brains constantly search for meaning, complete incomplete images and compare new information with familiar memories. This powerful system helps us understand complicated environments quickly. It allows us to recognize people, objects and possible dangers with very little information. The occasional face in a cloud is a small side effect of this remarkable ability. It shows just how strongly the human brain is designed to find patterns. So the next time a house appears to smile, a tree trunk seems to watch you or a cloud forms a giant face, take a closer look. The object has not suddenly come alive. You are witnessing an ancient and powerful part of the human brain at work. Sometimes this system works so efficiently that it discovers a face where no face exists at all. If you enjoyed exploring this fascinating mystery of the human mind, please like this video and subscribe to Wonder Atlas World for more journeys through science, nature and the wonders hidden in everyday life. Until the next wonder.